Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Aisha Sisters podcast. Thank you all for joining us. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Aisha Sisters podcast. All right. Today I'm Honey. I'm joined by Queen Sue, Mama Teresa, and Sister Lola. Today's subject will be I don't want to mispronounce her name, Ziyah Harris case with Jarvis Butts. Now, before we go into anything further, we would like to open this up with prayer so that there will be more of us, more of God, and less of us. Because this is definitely a heart wrenching subject, and it's affecting people all across the country because of just the sheer horrendousness of it. So, Mama Teresa, you want to pray?
Yes, I'll start off with prayer.
Thank you.
Father God, as we always come today just to say thank you. Heavenly Father, for another day among the living, we are asking you, God, to cover us all from seen and unseen danger. Watch over our children as they prepare for another day of school. We are asking you, Father God, to send your angels out to any boy or girl that has been through any kind of abuse because depression is real and heartbreak will kill and trick our minds to kill yourself. Touch their hearts and mindsets of the families to lean on you and not on their own understanding because
Yes,
prayers go up and blessings come down. We thank you,
yes.
Father God, that you are awesome and justice will prevail. Amen. Amen.
Amen, amen, amen. All right. So, ladies, let's introduce ourselves. Queen Sue, say hi to the people.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I hope you all staying warm and safe with this cold and this epidemic of flu and RSV and COVID and stuff going on. Please keep yourself together. Keep yourself together and stay blessed with what God and what Allah has given us to be blessed with now. And let's have some fun and not really have fun, but let us um, go into the importance of our children and our daughters and our sons.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, Teresa, say hi to the people.
Hello, everyone. Peace and love, everybody. I just want to say that, blessings come through prayer. So we need to all keep all children and all families up in prayer because so many people are going through things of seen and unseen danger that we don't even know about. And sometimes
Yes,
people don't know how to reach out to people. So we have this podcast that comes on to be able to express your feelings, express, different things that are going on so you can reach out to somebody.
yes. All right, Lola, you muted, baby. Say hi to the people.
Hey, peace and love, everybody. I just want to say that I'm thankful and I'm grateful for this podcast and the light that it shines on important topics to bring more light and more attention to situations. Um, uh, all praise due to Allah. I'm just happy to be here and just hope that everybody gets the message across the world.
All
Hey,
right. All right, D-Woo, hey.
Peace and love, sisters. My voice may or may not last, but I'm gonna try. Um, I am thankful that we are all here today, as this is a topic is kind of close to my heart. Being from Detroit, it's important that we take care of our brown kids, our brown boys and girls. And today's topic is about a little girl who was not taken care of. She was thrown off to the side, and it's one of the most saddest things I probably have ever seen in my life, where kids are not paid attention to, and disregarded. Um, and so I'm just
Mhm.
happy and thankful that we are all here so that her message can continue to be shine. We can continue to shine a light on her message that our
Yes.
little brown boys and girls are important and they deserve better, and we gonna give it to them.
All
Yes,
right.
yes,
Amen.
yes, 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 yes. Okay, so before we get started, I would like to, just in case anybody who hasn't caught up with the case, I want to play a brief video to probably like catch everybody up just a little bit so that we can go after, we can discuss it after that.
Jarvis Butts, the Detroit man charged with murdering 13-year-old Ziyah Harris, he appeared in court for the first time since his case was bounded over for trial. CBS News Detroit's Jack Springate sat on today's proceedings to tell us everything that happened in court today.
Well, today's hearing was more procedural than informative, but it did set a timetable for some of the next steps in this trial. The biggest development arguably happened outside the courthouse, and that was learning how much attention Ziyah's story's been getting since last week's preliminary hearing. Butts entered a not guilty plea before the court scheduled a calendar conference set for March 7th at 9 a.m. That's when deadlines to file motions, motion hearing dates, and potential trial dates will be set. One of Ziyah's adult cousins and staunchest advocates said her story has taken off ever since the preliminary hearing.
There are a few celebrities that have reached out. It's reached some very top tier platforms. So I'm hoping that, it moves in the right direction that it needs to go on.
Roxy says one of these celebrities was Detroit's very own Skilla Baby, who not only said he'd cover the cost to throw a community gathering to honor Ziyah's life, but he's also changed his profile picture to this photo of her.
I'm very thankful that Skilla Baby decided to, step up to the plate and take care of everything. And it's just awesome how the community is coming together all behind Ziyah.
Roxy told me her reaction to much of the online chatter that sided with Judge Aaliyah Sabri's observation that those caring for Ziyah when she was abused didn't do enough to protect her.
Accountability matters. It's some things that you can be able to forgive your family members for, and this is just one of those things that I just personally can't. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and everyone involved in it needs to take accountability.
Roxy says she would have never let this happen if she were still living in Detroit 1 year ago. Again, Butts will be back in court on March 7th for that calendar conference, and you can continue to follow along this case with us here at CBS News Detroit as we bring you real-time updates as they happen. For now, reporting in Detroit, I'm Jack Springate, CBS News Detroit.
All right, we're back, everyone. So what do you guys think? Anybody want to start?
I want to start. I kind of want to start with the sequence of events. So she got up and went to school that day. The last picture that we know of was the one with her in the glasses sitting in her classroom, and she took it on her tablet. She got on the bus to go home. She got off the bus and was walking down her actual block. And she supposedly never made it home. So then she was seen at the auto shop, where we're gonna call him the monster, where the monster worked and was co-owner. The monster's sister, Tawana, actually testified that she saw her there on several little time periods while she was there. She said that she had gotten out and walked to the gas station a few times, and she was ahead of her walking in the gas station. She said she remembered her coat, the coat that she had on, the Rugrats coat. Then at some point the sister left. They left to take a car up to Ypsilanti, Michigan. A lady testified that she sat in her living room in Ypsilanti, Michigan. She didn't say anything, but she sat there. She, was just kind of quiet while they were talking the business. Then we know that she had to be back in Detroit somewhere around like 8:30, 8:45, because the co-worker of Jarvis was on an ankle monitor, and so he had to be back at home by 9. Then we also know that Jarvis the monster went to go borrow his other baby mama's car. Then he went and got a motel room, which is like somewhere maybe around the corner from the shop that he worked at. After that, she was never seen or heard from again. The grandma actually did not report her missing until the very next morning, and she didn't
Mhm.
go to Detroit police. She went to Detroit Public Schools Police Department. So that's kind of a sequence of events of kind of her day, so to speak. Um, so there's a lot of questions about a lot of theories and a lot of questions about what happened to her. Um, I kind of want to start with Naziah. I feel like that's important so we understand who she was. She was 13. She's a 13-year-old little girl. Um, she officially was missing on the 9th, but was not reported to the 10th, January 10th, 2024. She was adopted by her grandmother, her and her brother, because to my understanding, her mother has some drug issues. So the grandma did take custody. Um, the aunt, her name was Shannon. She was the one who was involved with the monster. They had 5 kids. To my understanding, the monster was also, kind of had gotten. Not only did he have a record for being a pedophile, but he had been touching his kids. He had been touching other people's kids. Long history of it. So I kind of want to go through some of the conspiracy theories, so to speak, with you guys. Do y'all believe that she was pregnant from what y'all have seen?
I know they said that um, she was pregnant and he knew it, and that he had been on the internet trying to find some kind of ways of getting rid of the pregnancy. And that is one of the reasons why they were saying that they know that he killed her. My thing even starts before all this. Um, it was like, she was looking for some love and it just wasn't there. Like you said, grandma had her, but uh, the testimonies and things that, the aunts came up and said and did, nobody cried, nobody, fell out of nothing. This baby was missing. She was only 13. And, they wasn't like they were that concerned about it. They didn't report it to the very day. What was wrong with these people? It starts with them at home first, and then they allowing this monster, as you say, Jarvis, to come in and be around the kids, knowing that he was already a pedophile and that he had even messed with his own kids. So why would you allow somebody like that to come and just take her to the shop? I mean, you gonna let somebody just take your baby to the shop and do whatever? Or you ain't never been up there yourself, but you allow him to take her, she said. That was all real strange to me also. You know, um, don't no woman shouldn't have to be going through that hard up for no man that you got to allow them to use your children for sex and abuse them, you trying to keep up with him. You know, um, I just understand that part. My heart goes so much out to this baby that, lost her life in the midst of, trying to find her way and just have somebody to talk to be there for her. Because they also brought up about how she even called him about pads or, needing things, personal things. Um, why would she need to be calling him when you got aunties and grandmas right there? Should have been trying to help you do whatever you need to do. So it's a lot going on in this case that just is really sad that that baby had to even go through what she went through, period.
I think it's important that we go back to what you said about the testimony of the grandma and the aunt never, I don't know if y'all saw this part, but his sister testified that she had seen her, and she testified that she, walked to the store and everything. I kind of already went through that.
Yeah.
But she cried. Grandma didn't shed a tear.
No.
Auntie didn't
No.
shed a tear.
No.
And then grandma acted like she couldn't even see him in the courtroom. Like, I was like, she's looking around over here. She like, I don't see him. I need my glasses. Like, come on now.
Yeah. It's just heartbreaking
It
that
is.
they used that little girl like that.
Do
Cause
you
that's
think the aunts knew? You think they knew?
yeah.
Yeah.
I know they no way. You know
There's no way they didn't know.
anybody
No
that
way they didn't.
listened to this case or went and looked up this case, which anybody that hasn't looked it up should, because we need to keep this going, you know, out in the communities to let people know that things like this might be at this back door, but be at somebody else's back door the next time. So we need to keep pushing this issue of what's going on with this baby because some people don't know. I didn't know. I went and read up on it and went and looked at the courts and the case and everything to find out what happened to this baby. And I'm just so heartbreaking because I have granddaughters, I have grandsons, you know, when you think about even your own kids or grandkids being around other people, it's just difficult for you to even talk about, because my mom didn't allow us to go sleeping over people's houses and stuff. That just was a no. Now you can come to my house, but I couldn't go over there. That's just the way we were. Now
Yeah,
they letting the kids just go.
but it's just sad and unfortunate to me that that people could be so self-centered inside of each family when they can't recognize the signs of these kids calling out for help. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Even if they ain't calling out for help or giving you no signal, you need to ask them. If you need some help, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
always tell my grandkids all the time, my kids be around me 24 when I'm not working and doing like that. And I want to put this out there because when I was a child, I was in a house with a mom. You understand what I'm saying? And the monster is somebody that could very well become a person that the child fears. The child thinks that that's the love that you're supposed to receive. You know what I'm saying? Because they are great manipulators. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Great manipulators. So it's so hard to break the ice when somebody is fumbling and messing with your child. You understand what I'm saying? But it's too many signs and signals to let you know with your right mind that something ain't right with this picture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hmm.
They want to be too friendly. And that ain't just going with the men, that's with the women too. You understand what I'm saying? This stuff is
Yeah.
crazy. We are losing our children at a mass amount because everybody is so busy into what they're doing, they're not paying attention to the ones that's growing up. They got to keep on throwing the ball to make the world a little bit better than what it's supposed to be. It ain't. It ain't. It's hurt. This is a very hurtful um subject that we on, and my granddaughter Demaya was the one who, grandma, you pay attention to this. I was very gone. And but I couldn't go when she threw it out and said, I heard this last year, but then it came back up again. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
like boom, and then it got cold, and then it got that hot again. You gotta let the stuff stay hot until that person be in that boiling pot. That is the monster. You know what I'm saying? It, they said he had a track record of messing with his own children.
He actually
And
had
these
a
women
And
out
pattern.
here,
they,
these women out here are so messed up in the head. They think these niggas love them. Excuse my friends for what I said, but think these guys love them, and they will allow them to uh, mess over their children. They so
Yeah.
weak minded and so hungry for somebody to love them because they are mentally abused. You feel what I'm saying? That is crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
and they, and
Mm-mm.
that's why also I feel like people definitely need to tune in more to their kids. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Like when it comes to um, my kids, when it comes to them, I always tell them, don't be scared of nobody. Period, point blank. Your mama got you. What they do is just say, for instance, if I got somebody babysitting, such as my cousins or whatever, and if they yell at them or something like that, when I come home, they're gonna whisper in my ear. They're gonna say, "Mom, I'm gonna put my head down," and they're gonna tell me what happened. You know what I'm saying? You have to teach your children that, you
Yes.
know what I'm saying? You have to let them know that you're gonna protect them and can't nobody do nothing to them. You just have to instill in them, don't be scared. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody make you scared, because once a kid is scared, it ain't nothing you can say after that. Ain't nothing you
That's
can do.
right.
That's why stuff happens to children. That's why you have to just teach your kids. You just gotta teach your kids. Don't let nobody touch your butt. Don't let nobody touch your vagina or your private part. You know what I mean? I've been instilling that in my kids since they were able to speak. Since anytime I wash them up, give them a bath. Hey, don't let nobody touch you, and don't let nobody make you touch
There's
them.
some
You know what I'm saying? Like,
technical
and
difficulties.
this is why I was so proud. One day I let my cousins watch my kids, right? And she put them in a tub. And this is when I knew that I was doing something right. She put them in a tub and she was trying to wash them up. Mind you, they was only like 3 and 4 at the time. So my oldest son, the 4-year-old, he said, "No, you're not supposed to wash me up. I can wash my own self up." So when my cousin told me that, that brought happiness to my heart, because I did tell him that. You know what I'm saying? I said, ain't
Yeah.
nobody supposed to touch you. Ain't nobody supposed to see you naked. None of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like one time I had went to the school. They end up changing my son out of his clothes. He came back with some different clothes. I must have went to the school with the quickness. Hey, ma'am, why is he in different clothes? Cause teachers be touching kids too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anything. Ain't nobody supposed to see my kids naked. If he had an accident, you call me. Ain't no way he's supposed to have no accidents, because I make it to where they supposed to get up and go to the bathroom. So that's new to me. But but the moral of the story is, always teach your kids that you got them, no matter what. Always teach your kids. Ain't nobody supposed to touch you, and ain't nobody supposed to make you touch them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If anybody touch you, don't be scared. You tell your mama, because you know your mama got you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna do whatever I got to do. But it is a messed up situation, because, like you said, it be your own, it be family, it be people in your household. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's messed up anyway, because if y'all already knew that this man had a history of touching kids,
Yeah.
but like the queen said, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, because these people really don't care about their children, because they will really choose a man or a woman over their kids. Because if
Yeah.
you a pedophile, bro, and if I know you a pedophile, ain't no way you gonna be nowhere near me. Not even
Mhm.
yet alone my kids. Ain't nowhere you're gonna be near me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's messed up that this happened to this baby man. I really do. And I just feel like, just it's real messed up, because like I don't even understand why that was even possible. That should have never happened to her. You
I
know what I
Mhm.
think
mean?
that
That
I
should have
think
never happened.
I wanna piggyback off of what you're saying, Sierra. Um, part of teaching your kids not to let people touch you is to also make them aware that people come in the form of I love yous. They come in
Hmm.
the form of
Yes.
I'm your friend.
I got the
I
Mhm.
got
sentiment for
you.
you.
And they
Hmm.
really are preying on your weaknesses and your, like, everybody around this little baby knew that she was overlooked, she was not loved correctly, and he used that to his
Yeah.
advantage to draw her towards him. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
guys paid attention to the text messages, and it really irritated me to hear people say she was fast and she was trained, she was molded, she was
Yeah.
made to talk the way she was talking. You know, her saying, "Bae, I love you," and she ain't know nothing about that. He trained her.
Yes.
He molded
And he was
her.
already a pedophile. He should have. That's just sad.
He
That's
been
sad.
doing that. He had
Been
a
doing
long
that.
history of getting with women that had children to be able to go and kind of prey on their kids. You know,
Yeah.
I think I heard he himself started having kids at the age of 13. So this is a vicious cycle.
Mm-hmm.
He was touched by some older lady and she got pregnant by him at 13 and her kids were taken away.
Mm.
Wow.
So he had, you know, and even I look at people like if they talking about R. Kelly's and things like hurt people hurt people. These are
Yeah.
traumatized people that are re-traumatizing other people.
Because in their head that's normal. You have to also think about that in their head that's normal to them. They don't see no wrong in what they're doing. And who do you like? Okay, so for real, when you have a situation like this, right? Let's say we're gonna talk about the pedophile, right? You at a young age have been being touched your whole life, so you growing up thinking that this is what I'm supposed to be enduring, or this
And
is what I am
normal.
supposed to be doing to others. So
Mm.
you grow up with this mentality and it's stuck in your head. You know what I'm saying? People may tell you, oh no, this is wrong. You're not supposed to do that. This ain't right. But to you, this is what you've been, you know what I'm saying? This
Yeah.
is what
You've been
you've been,
conditioned, yeah.
you know what I mean? So like, as far as the mental health, right? How do you correct that mentally? How do these people out here that are touching kids, how do you, other than lock them up? I mean, I don't understand. How do you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that. Even when it comes to the prison system, right? You got all these people getting locked up for drugs and such stuff like that. But you got these pedophiles getting slapped on the wrist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all let the people, the government, let them people out. You know what I'm saying? They might live right next door to you or up the street. You know what I mean? That's because they're being slapped on the wrist because the judges feel like, oh, if we put them in prison, this is gonna happen. They thinking about their safety. No, you not some. I feel where you coming from, where you want them to be safe, but you have to think about the world's safety when it comes to these type of people. You know what I'm saying? Because these people is really out here traumatizing other kids. Y'all, you hurting other people' kids, your kids. You know what I'm saying? As far as like even and that's really, you don't even know who to expect it to happen from, because like you just said, an older lady took him. You know what I'm saying? It could be old people, it could be young people, it could be kids doing this to kids. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, it just
But that just means we have to be watchful with
of
everybody.
our yeah, you
Yes.
With
definitely do.
everybody.
And
It's not one person that you can pinpoint it because you couldn't look at him. If I saw him on the street, I'm just being honest,
yeah.
I wouldn't look at
I
him and
look
say,
at
"Oh, he's
him.
a pedophile."
No. No.
I personally feel like it starts with us at home as parents, like what Sierra said, teaching her kids no one should touch you, you
Period.
shouldn't touch anyone. But
Period.
it's also having that relationship with your child for them to be
Period.
open. This happened to me today. You know, a lot
Yep.
of times now we don't ask and they don't tell. You
Yep.
know, you think, oh, my kid is strong or something happened. And then, like you said, it could be you was at your auntie house with your cousins. The next door
Yep.
neighbor came over to play and it added to the equation. And our kids don't see anything. If the boys don't speak anymore, I know my kids don't talk. I got two teenage boys. And if I don't ask, they definitely won't tell. They don't offer the information. So what happened? And it was times where they were mistreated or talked to wrong. But I feel like it also started with you got to open the door to the kids to feel comfortable to say, hey, this happened.
But
And you had
to my understanding, she had told. I've been kind of deep diving into some things with this whole case, and her family members. I've seen different family members. There's a podcast by Mark DeAndre, and he kind of does a real deep dive into like the backstory. So the grandma got pregnant at 11. That a lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? The grandma she lived with got pregnant at 11. So she was a product of some sort of sexual
Right.
trauma. Then the mom, from what I understand, she has 7 kids, and all of her 7 kids, I think maybe with the exception of two of them, 2 or 3 of them are not doing that well. They
I
had a
did.
lot
I
of
did read that
sexual
part.
trauma.
Yes.
So I think definitely opening up the door is important, by asking. I always ask my kids, has anybody ever touched you down there? I don't care if they threatened you. Tell me. I'm not
Period.
scared. You shouldn't be
Well,
either.
well, let me ask
But
you.
you
Do
know,
you
pardon the body, you guys. Another thing, picking on what three of you all are about, like at home. When my kids were little kids, getting there, and I'm giving them a bath or something, I'm talking to them then.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
I'm talking about like the 3-year old, the 2-year old, you know,
Right. Very true.
telling them and talking to them about their body parts, telling
Mm-hmm.
them, the same thing. Somebody touch you, don't you touch else? Because going back, a lot of times it be people that they trust, and like you said, it could be friend, family, or whoever. But even within the family, people come over and they playing and talking with the kids. You have to be mindful of who's playing and talking with your kids. You know, the kids can come and say something, but you still don't know what fear or what they have said to these kids. Sometimes they still afraid to say something. So like now, people need to go through the kids' phone. They need to talk to the kids sometimes, see what's going on. Because sometimes you don't know who they
Yeah, because
talking to
maybe
on the
if
internet.
somebody saw those text messages
Yeah,
earlier, if they were paying closer
Uh,
attention.
yeah.
But also to go back to
definitely.
you, D-Woo, so when you were saying as in the history with the grandma and the mom, do you think it was kind of overlooked because it was normalized in the family?
That's what I was saying.
Yes, it could
Definitely,
be.
I definitely believe.
That
So
could be.
something just came out. I guess it was off of her Snapchat. People are going back finding different things. So
Mhm.
there was another video of her with this older guy, and of course, people gonna do the detective work now. We are the best.
Yes.
The streets is the best detectives. Okay,
Mhm.
because they found his name, his information, and he also was in jail for pedophilia. And in this video, he's hugging on her. I actually have it. I don't know if I can
Yes.
share it. I'll try. Oh no.
Okay, okay, we're gonna take a
But
brief
yeah, it
commercial
goes
break, you
back to
guys. We're gonna take a brief
family first.
commercial break, you guys.
Looking for real conversations that uplift, empower, and inspire? Tune in to the Aisha Sisters podcast, hosted by the dynamic Queen Sue and the Sisters. Live and unfiltered, we're streaming straight to you on Facebook and YouTube every second and fourth week of the month. From celebrating sisterhood to tackling life's toughest topics, this is your go-to space for wisdom, laughter, and love. Don't miss a moment. Mark your calendar, grab your coffee or your cocktail, and join the conversation. The Aisha Sisters podcast, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe.
All right, you guys, we're back. We're back. Okay, we have a couple of comments from the guest. Joy Fitzpatrick gave us some hearts here. Twiggy Hilton, she said 100 to something. Williams said he is a top three, a tier 3 offender. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The worst that he was grabbing her to his lap as he was drinking beer.
So that's the
But
video that I was just talking about
okay,
with the older
okay,
guy. He was hugging on her and kissing on her and all that stuff in the video. And he's
Yeah.
a offender too.
That's why you don't let your kids sit in people's laps either. I don't care if it's your brother, your uncle, your cousin. If you, especially
Yeah.
not just the boys, but the girls too. But you have to tell them, ain't no way no boy supposed to be sitting in no boy lap. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're my brother. Ain't no reason my son should be sitting on your lap. Just that's just you teaching him that. You know what I'm saying? Boys don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Little girls,
Yes.
you ain't supposed to be all up on his lap, in between his legs. I don't care if it's your uncle. I don't care if it's your
That's
cousin. That's
right.
just not what little kids do, because then y'all gonna let them think that this is
That is
normal. This is
okay.
what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? It's all about teaching your kids. I'm telling y'all, like if you enforce that in your kids for them not to be scared. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I know my kids, and I know that my kids ain't scared. They gonna tell me. You know what I mean? And like I said, even if they feel like they scared to tell me in front of you, they gonna make me put my head down, and they're gonna tell me exactly from the beginning to the end what happened. And I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying, either tell them, oh, baby, you was wrong. But I'm not going to tell them you was wrong in front of them. I'm going to tell him that you was wrong. But I'm going to tell you in front of my baby, hey, don't be scaring him. Don't make him feel like he got to be intimidated by you just because you the adult or you older. No, don't play with my kids like that, because that's why kids be scared. I don't play them type of games. But, um, Naziah, you know what I mean? I just wish that it was somebody who really, I wish that I just wish that she had a safe place to go, as far as to be able to talk, or you know what I'm saying, even if she felt like, you know what I mean, like even if she did feel like it was normal, she should have been able to walk up to somebody like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, today woo out the damn happened. You know, it's just all about instilling that in your kids to be able to talk to you, and to fear no one. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
To answer your question, Sia, I think that's a family member. That guy that was in that video hugging on her, that's that level 3 offender. I think he's a family member. I haven't, I pieced some of that together, but I know that his son was tagged in the picture. He's a senior. His son is a junior, and he was tagged in a sibling picture or something like
Yeah.
that on one of their pages.
Mhm.
So I think he's related in some way. So I do believe, to go back to what the sister was saying, is that I think it is a family dynamic of theirs. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how many people believe in this, but some things really are genetic. Some things really are genetic. They are engraved in your DNA. And I really heavily believe that pedophilia is one of those things.
I
I
think
believe
some of it is
it's in the families. It's in
it's
the root of
like
the
any
families.
it's a family curse that goes down from generation to generation, and like Sierra was asking about, I, the people got to be willing to, like any other thing, like drugs or anything else you try, get off of. Um, you have to be willing to want to help to get some kind of, see a psychiatrist, whatever you need to do, you know, to talk to somebody to get some kind of counseling. A lot of times, like you were saying, to them, they are already right. They don't feel they doing nothing wrong because this has been their life coming up as children. And like the grandma, with her when she was 11. So to her, she just turned her head because didn't nobody look her way when it happened to her.
If you remember, that's part of like history, and it's a lot of our culture. Because even in
Yeah,
some of my family,
Turn
it's
their
saying to
head.
say, that things happen and it's kind of pushed under the table. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
we're not going back over there no more. Well, that didn't solve it. Nothing happened
No.
to him.
exactly.
It's like you allowed that to happen to me and then kept me away. Like this didn't happen, so that trauma was always there.
Yeah.
Or
And
let it
then they
happen to
go get in
somebody else.
relationships and things happen to their children and it's kind of passed along because hey, this happened to me. Well, that
Yeah.
was not okay when it happened to you. So you think it's okay for your child because you were raised a certain kind of way. The way everyone was raised was not, it's not the right way.
Yeah.
let me say something. I think that a problem that we as African Americans have is we look at seeing a therapist or a psychiatrist or a shrink as a bad thing. Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. These are unbiased people who don't have a stake in your life as far as you can see them. So when they give you feedback or you go to them and you talk to them, not only do they help you impartially work out your problems, but they help you learn how to live with these things and how to sort through them mentally.
Yes.
How to, it's not a bad thing to see a shrink. That's actually one of the greatest things I've ever done. I got a
Yes.
solid person I can lay all my burdens on. They don't judge me. They're not gonna tell my secrets.
Yes.
They're just gonna give me good, honest feedback. And we
Yeah.
as black people have to get past that theory of seeing a psychiatrist or a psychologist is a bad thing, because it's not.
I'm
No.
gonna
And
also
also,
say I feel like the it has opened up more, but now one of the bigger issues, because I was reaching out for my children, is that that's not something that's really offered to us within the healthcare, or it's very rare that they have time. We don't have that many therapists. They don't offer as many services to the kids or even the families that need it the most, unless it's been a major trauma. But that's like a whole nother conversation.
Well,
and also, I
I just
wanted to
want to
say
throw something
something.
out to y'all. I do work for a health insurance company. If anybody's ever looking for those services, please contact me. My health insurance company might be different from what yours is, but I can point you in the right direction to find those resources.
Yes, because
And I
usually,
also wanted to say, pardon the body. I also wanted to say something about us, our black people in our households. Now, I'm not sure if everybody has heard this, but I know that my mama used to say this to me a lot. But she'd be like, "What happens in this house stays in this house." Now, a lot of people who was raised like that,
hmm
they what happens in this house stay in this house, so they leave it in the house. I feel like people shouldn't be saying that. I don't feel like people should teach their kids that. I don't feel like that's something that you should tell your kid. What happens in this house stays in this house, because
break
all
this.
type of weird stuff can be happening in your house, and
Hmm
you ain't gonna ever get no help because you done taught me that what happens in this house stay in this house. So I'm not gonna go to my counselor or my therapist or my nurse and be like, "Oh, I was being touched on," because I'm thinking in my head this is supposed to stay at home. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
part of those some of them standards that we was speaking on that some of us we was raised on.
For
Yeah.
Don't
sure.
tell this, and then came to a point. Stay off your uncle's lap. Oh, I'm just sitting my little niece. Oh, and those, like you said, it start close. The closest kids
Yeah.
in the family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
And we
sure.
saw it. I've seen so many up close and personal or close friends that things like that happen to their kids, and it's so tragic.
It
It,
is.
it
It
it's
really is.
on every angle for everyone.
So we
And
were
we did.
supposed to have a guest today, but he couldn't make it. He was the father of Naziah's cousin. Now, she testified in court, and of course, she's a minor, so we didn't get to hear any of that testimony. But she testified that he propositioned her for sex, and she actually saw him at the shop sitting with his pants down, and Naziah sitting with her pants down on his lap. So he also propositioned
Wow.
another cousin. I think that was his daughter that they were referring to. But
Yeah.
the dad actually tried to attack Jarvis in the courtroom,
Yes. Yes.
and they had to get him out of there. So I'm sad that he couldn't make it today, but because he said his daughter was having some medical stuff. So but even I want to even touch on that a little bit, because it's just amazing how how bold he was in his approach. Like, not only did he think he could get Naziah, he thought he could get this other cousin. He thought he could get that
Mhm.
other cousin. He did not care. He's like, I'm gonna try everybody, and whoever bites bites. And thankfully, that his daughter, the guy who was supposed to be here today, thankfully his daughter declined and said, I'm ready to go home. Thankfully. And so she did not experience that, but she still is going to wear the scars of this whole entire ordeal.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the scary
Rest of my
part
life.
about that is, like you were saying, he was bold. When somebody get bold like that, you've been doing this for a while.
Yes.
You've been doing it for a while. You have a whole system of how you're doing it in a comfortable group
Yep.
of young females and clearly move quickly.
Yep.
So he probably definitely got other victims out there.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what they're looking for. That's what they're looking for currently. They've been doing broadcasts and the podcast, and people who are involved with the case have been getting on Facebook and saying, if you're a victim, come forward.
It was two girls that they said came for. One, I think like 12 or 13. She's 20 now. And
Mm-hmm.
one of them is 11. Uh, they were saying, you know, the news. But my thing is also just like Sierra and you guys, that, that thing where you stay in the house, don't tell nobody this, and it's secret, because Uncle Johnny did this, but don't worry about it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be okay, babe. Don't worry about it. Or either the person don't want to hear, because they've been through some things, so they got overlooked. They don't care. You know, only thing they thinking about hurt they went through. So grandma seemed like that was just normal to her. Letting that girl go off with this guy. That guy was 41 years old, and you talking about a 13-year-old. When he really started talking to her, she was 12.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think it's important that if we have to push the message on, if you see something, say something. That's
Yeah.
important.
Yes.
Yeah.
If
Yes.
you see something, say something.
Yeah.
Because you don't want the next person. You see, sometimes we have our own trauma and you can't go backwards. So you
Yeah.
just try to keep going forward.
Help
But
someone else.
you don't want the same trauma that you have experienced inflicted on nobody else.
Exactly. Exactly.
You don't want nobody to have to go through what you went through. So it's important. We gotta really push that message. If you see something, say something.
Yeah.
And pay attention to your children. Pay attention to your children. They
Yeah.
facial expressions, they
Hmm.
silence, they outburst, they anger, they sadness. You have to pay attention to your kids, and especially if they little kids. If you feel like your baby, let's say your little kids, if you feel like something they outburst and then they too angry, take them to the doctor. And the reason why I say take them to the doctor is because if you don't know if nobody touching on your kid, if you take them up there to the hospital, I'm sure they'll be able to tell. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You have to. I just wish and I just hope and I just pray and I just put this out there. I'm gonna say it again. Teach your kids not to be scared. Let your
Yeah.
kids know that you got their back, no matter what, right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? And pay attention to your kids. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling the world. I
Because
hope so.
a lot of times, like
I'm
also,
real.
you
Pay
uh,
attention.
teach
Pay
your
attention to
train
the way.
train.
Pay attention to them at their bedding time. If they wet in that bed and they don't have a kidney problem or something like that,
Yeah.
take them to the doctor because the majority of the time they scared they wet in bed because they don't want to get out the bed. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Because they don't want to get the monster. A lot of them kids, you know what I'm saying? They boo-booing and peeing on themselves. That's
That's
untrained stuff. That
Yep.
something's wrong with that kid. That ain't no regular. Something is wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
Telling
And
you
I agree
all
with you, Queen.
it's wrong. You
Yes.
know what
So
I'm saying?
another piece of this that's really kind of irritating me a lot is that, and of course this is kind of hearsay. I don't know if it's true, but one thing I will say is that when we first saw him get arrested, he had very long hair. I don't know if y'all recall that. In the
Yeah.
Yeah.
court case, he had a short, nice cut. You could tell he just got his hair cut, like,
Mm-hmm.
had a little taper on the side, all that. They say that Shannon, the aunt, is still supporting him from jail.
And
Oh,
she
She
probably
that
is.
she
She
is still
probably
putting money
is.
right.
on his books. She threw a birthday party. She actually invited people to
Reason
his birthday
why I
party while
said,
he was locked up.
Because
What?
people support that type
why
of
I said I
weirdo.
believe.
weird people or people who don't care about other people. And that just really blew me that you even said that, because you have to really understand that people in they right in they wrong minds, they really think that type of stuff is cool. Because at the end of the day, bro, if I know that you locked up for touching my baby, bro, and I know that you got a history of touching my baby, ain't no way you getting $1 from me. But people be like, oh, they want to stand by their man, stand by their husband, stand by,
Yeah,
what I'm
I was
saying, they
just
brother,
gonna
they
say
uncle,
that.
who up you down, they gonna
Right.
support them
Yeah.
through it all
Yeah,
type stuff,
they
you know
gonna
what I'm saying?
support
But
them.
and that's why people do what they do, and they continue to do it, because they know that people gonna still ride with them, or they still gonna, what I'm
Yes.
saying,
Yes.
support them.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. That
That's
That
is.
crazy.
Okay,
yes.
y'all, I got another clip, right? It's shorter than the last one. I want y'all to check this one out.
So many crazy and new details have been released about this case, and if you're following it, you need to hear this. The first thing you need to know is that CPS has been called on the Harris family for literal decades, but nothing was done. No major investigation, no questioning possible victims or the children in the house, and no interrogating possible suspects. And it was just revealed that when Ziyah's aunt Shannon, who shares 5 kids with Jarvis, and her sister became of age, they began essaying the children in their house, their own nieces and cousins. And as you may remember, when Ziyah's aunt first met Jarvis, he told her that he went to jail for giving his 4-year-old an STD, but she chose to pursue a relationship with him anyway, probably because she didn't think it was wrong, and she was doing those things herself. Ziyah's aunt, sister, and grandma all knew this was going on, took part in it, and tried to cover it up. They would all tell authorities that this was just a runaway case and occasionally lie, saying they've seen Ziyah running up and down the street so they could buy themselves more time to get their story straight. And possibly the craziest detail is that Ziyah's grandma was essayed at a young age and had a kid at the age of 13, and to this day, no one knows where that child is or whether he or she is even alive. It could have been the same story where that child was essayed by someone in the house, got pregnant, and they made it seem like he or she just ran away. Rest in peace to Ziyah. Let me know what you guys think about this, and as anything comes out, I'll keep you guys updated.
Yeah, that's what it is. The generational curses. People be mad
Generational curse.
stuff
I said
behind
that.
closed door. You know what goes on in this house stays up in this house. If the
Yeah.
boogeyman up in this house, the boogeyman gonna get blown up out of this house. You know what I'm
Period.
saying?
That's
For real.
right. Right. That's right.
And you know, I'm
Yes.
always hopeless about kids and people messing with kids. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you be a
Yeah.
part of it, you gonna either be a part of it or you gonna graduate from it and stop. You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely. Definitely. Definitely.
And
Well,
part
Tina, you've been real quiet down there. You got something you want to put in?
Peace and love, everybody. I came in late, so I was just kind of tapping in on what everybody was saying, and everybody is really saying all the valid points. Most importantly is growing up, knowing and seeing this, what I mean, personally, you know, and the family tends to know, and they don't speak on it, or they don't really want to make a
Mhm.
big deal. So this hit different for me, you know what I mean? To see that things like this still go on. You know how when you go through certain situations and stuff like that, and then to see others go through it and being able to do something about it. And when it comes to the fact of the comfortability of your kids around certain ones, you have to watch how they're reacting around
Yeah,
people. A lot of
Yes.
times kids will literally you be like, why do you act like that when you come over here? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Pay attention to that.
pay
They be
attention to
telling
the
you right
kids.
there without telling you. So,
Yeah,
good job, sister. Y'all definitely hitting the point. So really, y'all saying everything that needs to be said. That's why I've been quiet. So y'all on it. Peace and blessings.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Yeah. But I think
Uh,
that
Another thing that's real
Yeah, that should be enough.
is
If it ain't just the rest of them,
is
if it
with
only, it
them
should be.
not being able to find her. That, like the judge said herself, I know she's dead. You know, they found the clothes, some of the clothes, her shoes that she had on, but they haven't found her body. And it's so many kids that, are still being taught about stranger danger, but like you said, when it's somebody that they consent to and feel that they love them, they family, then the child feels comfortable with whoever it is. And so they tend to be with that person. Sometimes they feel that it's wrong, and then sometimes, like you said, even go to acting out, or I don't want to go over their house no more. Well, why is it that they don't want to go over there? You love to go over there and play, but now all of a sudden, now you don't want to go. So people need to look into that. When your child start acting, it don't have to be your child. It can be any child around you seem to acting out in a certain way or about a certain person. When they come around, then they leave and stuff. Um, the different things that come about with children too is that uh sometimes they be afraid because of who the person is, and they in the house with the person, so they looking at the person every day. So how they gonna feel safe at all if they still in the person? So they scared to say anything. It don't tell thing. It need to be really out there. See, tell, no tell, and stop being a secret type of thing where whatever in this house stay in this house. That need to go out the window. All them curses that came throughout people lives and children lives, that need to go out the window. People need to tell. And like saying, going to get help, that don't mean you crazy. That mean that you trying to save yourself and your mind going to see a
Mhm.
psychiatrist right now. And that person is keeping what you say to them. They ain't on the internet finna tell what you said. That's between you and them. And so then depression and stuff is real. Heartbreak is real. You got so many kids sad and heartbreak what they going through, and they have nobody to advocate for them at all. And another thing, that children be going through, you sitting at school, sometimes that's the only comfort zone they have when they're away from home. You know. So even counselors and stuff like that, if the kids start to change, somebody need to call somebody and say something. But
Well,
when they,
to piggyback on that, Mama Teresa,
mhm.
the school failed her. Her family
Yes,
failed her,
yes,
because there's
yes,
no way that you're gonna see a round belly like she had when she's a
yes,
skinnier girl, and you're not gonna think something. You know, when is the last time you went to go buy sanitary napkins?
yes,
You know, when the
yes.
last time she came and said she was cramping because she had, had gotten her monthly.
Hmm.
Everybody around this little baby failed her. Everybody,
Everybody. Yes,
everybody. Everybody failed her. Where she was not strong enough, her teachers were supposed to be there. Where her
yes,
family messed up, her teachers were supposed to see something.
yes.
Her school counselor was supposed to see something. I was lucky
Mandatory
enough.
report.
I was lucky enough to be one of those kids that always talked to my counselors, always talked to my teachers. So when I was having an off day, they would pull me to the side. Say, what's wrong? You don't look like yourself today. Something not right today. Somebody was supposed to have seen something. Like the judge said, everybody failed that
Yes,
baby.
everybody.
Everybody failed her.
Yeah.
And I piggybacking off what you all saying, Daru, I feel that anything that's important in this world is for advertising. You know what I'm saying? They advertise TikTok, they advertise Facebook. We need to advertise our children for their safety. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We need to come up with logos. We need to come up with signs, something, where they could have a point of safety to come to. The 1-800 numbers and all that kind of stuff they had up there. This kids, if somebody in your family is failing you, that needs to know that they got a go-to person, and we got to put a plan together and make something happen for real.
Yes.
This is affecting all of us. Because if that person is getting touched and being surviving, they're gonna be touching somebody else. Like it's trickling down and it's not getting stopped. And then the penitentiary system is giving them like when the pedophiles get out of jail, like out here where we at, it's three houses, it's three apartment complex out here, right? And I live right here on 17th Street because I was a cab driver. You understand what I'm saying? And as I drove cab, the pedophile used to get into the car. The radio used to have to call me to let me know that they could not say anything to me. You understand what I'm saying? And I would have like 3 or 4 of them in the car at a time, but they was being watched from the time they got in the car to where they was going to because they on high profile monitoring. You see what I'm saying? But how can you have a building right across the street from McDonald's, right across the street from Target, 3 buildings full of pedophiles up in there around a shopping mall? And you know the kids,
Wow.
you see what I'm saying? The
Yes.
system is
That's the
what is
government.
spelling up. The system is spelling up.
Yep, for
Yes,
sure.
most definitely. Pardon
Sometimes
me. Right
we
there, what
gotta
you
take this
just
out
said.
of and put it in our hands, and we need to do something different. Because you know what, the fight that we got inside of us is brown people, black people, whatever we is. You understand what
Yes.
I'm saying? That ancestry fight that they had when they was in slavery trying to get the freedom of stuff, it ain't in us no more. Everybody just throw things over their head and keep on going. We ain't fighting out here the way that we supposed to be fighting, and we don't even know what we had, what working and what we dealing with right now.
Yes.
For real. It gotta stop.
Yes.
Somebody gotta be a company for our babies. You understand what I'm saying? I was having a conversation with somebody about this young girl. She moving in and out her mama's house back and forth all the time. You know what I'm saying? But she's trailing her baby everywhere she goes. You know what I'm saying? And my word was, you know, if that's your baby, your grandbaby or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's not our responsibility, but it is our responsibility.
Yes.
You understand what
We
I'm saying?
we are
To
our
safeguard.
responsibility.
It's our
Right.
responsibility to safeguard them children. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you see somebody,
Yes.
you see somebody ain't spearing right in their head, we supposed to be the one to take accountability and stand up and be the mother that that child needs to be. That grandmama, that auntie, that uncle. You understand what I'm saying? That father.
Yes.
You know, the neighborhood help us raise our children. Because if them kids was bad, they spank their butt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If something going on, just a stranger came to the door, they was pulling their shotgun at you. You don't belong at that door. People are so uncaring. Ain't no more love in the family no more. You know, and the thing is, it ain't affect them because we get old. And that's our children. And if it's our children, it's gonna be our children's children. So something gotta be done. And my heart just goes out to this little girl. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's nothing like when you want to cry, and it's just like burning in
Yes.
your eyes.
Yes.
You know, just talking about this conversation. And I'm glad that Brother Samori said that before we get offline, we're gonna lift up a heavy prayer for our children. You understand
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
Pray for our daughters. We don't pray for our sons. You know, we're gonna ask God, we're gonna ask Allah to cover them from the top of their head to the bottom of their feet. You know what I'm saying? And for
Yes.
everybody that ain't even got children and who has children, got nieces and nephews, the sisters and brothers, take accountability if you see that a family member in your house ain't doing what they supposed to do. You understand what I'm saying? If you bring one life to Christ, you understand what I'm saying? If you do one good deed, you know what I'm saying? Your goodness almost done. So we the one got to be the one to take accountability and help our children.
And pardon the body. Everything that you were just saying, Queen, goes back to the system the kids. Because I was a teacher and were, and I know they still are and always are, mandated reporters. You
Yes.
sign a paper just like you do your application. You are a mandated reporter to report what it is that children come in that school with, whether they got on being not fed, uh, no coat on, clothes or something, whatever the situation may be, you are a mandated reporter. So the system just failed her all the way around. She didn't have no support. The only some support she had was the monster. And to
That's
her,
it.
that was her support that she held on to. and
Didn't
he
realize it was
used
gonna be
her.
her demise.
Pardon,
She
what
didn't
you say?
realize the monster was gonna be a part of her demise.
Yes, yes, yes. So
There
the
are more
stranger
people.
danger that we teaching our kids sometimes could be right there with you and your kids. So you had to continue to teach your children, that don't take everything from everybody, because everybody is not out there for you being friends or being faithful to you furthermore than your well-being. You got people out there, even girls, luring other girls to get to pedophiles or trafficking. Human
Yep.
trafficking is real.
Yep. Yep.
Not only is it gone, we got human trafficking that's going on too. That we
Yep.
got so many young babies that are gone and missing, and it's not spoke upon. You don't even know about it. You don't hear about it. It's just thrown to the side. And that's a
Right.
shame that they don't have anybody to speak up for them. So with this podcast, us as the Aisha sisters need to spread that word, for our children and the other children and whoever else children that need that support and help. The families or whoever can come to people to say, that they need some help. Because that's another thing. People are not going to walk up and say they need help either. They'd rather just keep in the door.
I think we need to
And
push
I
that see something, say something.
Yes.
Maybe we need to make a do a some sort of a rally or something
Yeah,
or
tag everything else on Facebook and everything. Put that
and
out
I
there
wanted
on
to
there.
say something too about I wanted to piggyback off what you just said, Mama Teresa, about the stranger danger.
Yeah.
Now again, I'm gonna give y'all an example of what I do with my kids. I mean, okay, so one time it was this man. He was in a red truck. He was parked over there by the school. He wasn't no weirdo or nothing like that. But I walked up to that man. I had my kids with me. I walked up to the man and I told him, I said, I want you to ask my kids if they want some candy because I just want to see their reaction, what they gonna do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as I walked up, my kids was in the park. They end up running up, and oh boy, the man, he asked them. He like, "Hey y'all, I got some candy. You want some?" When I tell you, may God be my witness, my kids must have ran off so fast and was like, "My mama got me. My mama got me." But that's why I be trying to. That's why I try
Yes.
so hard to instill that in them because I'm trying to tell y'all and pay attention, Joe, because that brought happiness to my heart because I just had this man. My kids didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Asked them if they
Yeah.
wanted some candy and they took off because that's what I instilled in them. Anything you want, anything you need, your mama got you. Period, point blank. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? You don't
Yes.
need nothing from nobody. You don't need no dollar. You don't need no candy, nothing. Your mama got you. You know what I'm saying? People need to start also practicing certain situations with their kids. Just
Yes.
like, you know what I'm saying, how they do for the fire hydrant or whatever. Do that for strange people. You know what I'm saying? Walk up to
Yep.
a stranger and tell them, hey, tell my kids to get in your car just to see. You know what I'm saying? You right there. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? You have to teach your kids like this is a
Yep.
real situation. This is what happens in real life. And I feel like schools also needs to start teaching kids the real life stuff. You know what I mean? They don't really, like they don't really they back in the day they used to teach them about smoking and stuff, but you ain't never have them teaching about, like, you know what I'm saying, strangers and walking up to people and people kidnapping your kids. They don't teach you that. You got to teach your own kids that because reality, that's what can happen to you. When you get in
Yes.
somebody's car, somebody can take you and you will never see your mama again. You will never see your brothers again. You have to
Yeah.
instill this in these kids, man. It's all about how you teach your kids. I'm trying to tell you, and I'm a prime example of it because I know and I witnessed with my own eyes how my work and uh how my teachings affected my kids. I'm telling y'all, and I'm sorry that this happened to this baby Naziah, and may she rest in peace, man. And I hope that at the end of the day, she receives justice, the justice that she deserves.
Justice will
I
be
feel like,
prevailed.
yeah, you know what I'm saying, and I feel like
I feel like
not
it's
only
not.
for Naziah, but for any kid or any person, anybody that anything like this is happening to, I hope that, you know what I'm saying, they can break free, and I hope that they get attention to what's going on with them, and I hope that they get the justice that they deserve as well. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because this ain't just happening to this little baby. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
We
Somebody,
got a
this
we
happening
got a
to
bunch of
all type of
Nazias
little
around
kids.
here. We got a
Yes.
bunch of
You know what
Nazias in
I'm
the
saying? That's
Yes,
world.
real
we
talk.
do. Yes, we do.
And I hope
Okay,
that this podcast open lights, and it shines light. And I hope that people, you know what I'm saying, take heed to what we saying, and I hope that people really starts to teach their kids. You know what I'm saying? I really
Yeah.
do, and I just hope that, you know what I'm saying, people are able to form them type of relationships with their children to where
With
their
the
kids can
kids.
come talk to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because just so you
yes,
know, yeah, I'm your mama. I know you a teenager now. I know you doing your own thing, but teenagers be getting touched on too. So y'all need to
Yes.
yes,
let these
they
kids
do.
know, you know what I'm saying, that I am your safe spot. I am your
Yeah.
safe place. And I promise you, if anybody do anything
And
to you, your mama got you. You have to let them know. You have to make
Yes.
them feel that in their heart, in their
Yes,
soul, Joe.
indeed.
And it's
Yes.
gonna
Okay,
be
that
look,
that
wonderful.
look,
that's
a brief
that's
commercial break. We got to close up. We've been on well over an hour. This has been a wonderful show. We're going to take a brief commercial break, and we're going to let everybody say their last words before we close up out of here.
Welcome to Aisha Sisters Productions. Got the vision but need the firepower? Look no further. We don't just create, we dominate. Whether it's e-flyer creation, commercial production, or top-tier advertising and promotion, we take your brand to the next level. Need a podcast setup or already running one? Let us handle the backstage production like pros. Stay in front of the mic while we handle everything behind the scenes. Don't just get noticed, get remembered. Contact Aisha Sisters Productions today for all your streaming and production needs. It's time to elevate your brand. We'll take you there.
All right, you guys, welcome back. Welcome back. This has been a wonderful show. Okay, who wants to start? We got to close out, ladies.
I go.
Come on,
So
Brittany.
this for the last part of it, it is all sad. Everyone had a valid point on how the family could have, more than anything, saw something in this little girl. I feel like the family has a major level of responsibility here that must not be ignored. A pregnant child, I just have so many questions. We all talked about that. Even they are babies, we see you. How could you 100% miss this and stand and say, hey, you know, no responsibility? It's hurtful. And yeah, prayers to her and her family. This can't be easy for us to speak. So I know definitely we should give at least a moment of silence for for this baby and the family. That was that for them. She she deserved more from everybody, the whole community. And I hope that the message that was put out today is that watch your kids, pay attention, be the parent. The responsibility is yours until they are adults. You know, you got to see, watch the phones, watch what they're doing. Are you going to school? Even with your job, just it matters. And it happens more in our community because we let our kids go.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of, we talk that way a little bit early. Oh, you 17, 18, you got to go. But in other communities, that they're at home with parents until 25 and after graduating college or so. They're not kicked to the curb so early. Like, hey, I don't have to worry about you anymore. You know, we have a certain level of responsibility to our kids, and it's gonna take a while, but we got to keep pushing that agenda. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Brittany. Okay, next.
Okay, I guess I'll also go.
Some.
Peace and love, blessings to everybody. Brittany said, I really hope that this message gets spread nationwide. I hope that more attention comes to situations such as these, and more and justice is served. I hope that people really do take heed to what we speaking on when it comes to our babies and how you teach them. And like I said, just love on your kids, you know what I mean, just love on your kids, and just just knowledge is power. Just teach them what you know and what you can, and just let them know that you there for them, and that you got a support system, and y'all gonna fight and argue sometimes, because that's what parents and kids do, but at the end of the day, you can still come to me because I
That's
got
right.
you. um like I said, I hope that this, like I said, just shines light on all situations such as this. And I'm thankful for the Aisha sisters. I'm thankful for everybody who's involved, everybody that's watching. We appreciate y'all. And I just, yeah, just send my love and pay my respects to her family, like her aunt. You know what I mean? The people that were on her side that wasn't around that could have helped her. To those family members I'm talking about. Um, and yeah, just all is well. I just really, I really speak strongly on that, teaching your kids. I really, really do, from the bottom of my heart. I want people who got little kids to practice with their kids, to, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, to just instill in your kids that you got them, man. If your
Yes.
kids know you got them, then it ain't nothing that nobody else can say. Your kids, they gonna come to you. Just open that
Yeah.
communication up. Just love on each other, and it do take a village, you know what I'm saying, to raise kids. But the way the world is now, shoot, the villages, you got the was suspect, and that's messed up. But hey, I don't know, man. I just, like I said, I send my love. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. I appreciate the Aisha sisters for hosting this, for bringing light to this, and I'm just grateful to be a part of this. And I hope that we get answers, and I hope that we get justice for Naziah and everybody else that's going through her situation. Uh, yeah, love. That's it.
Right. Teresa?
Yes, I want to say that there's so many other children out there going through the same thing. And I'm praying the word gets spread it around throughout this case. I hate it had to be that, it took her life for this to go viral. But, it's a lesson in the message. And so, with the message going out today, I'm just praying that, it reaches out to help some other families, some children, or whoever, boys, girls, like she said, teenagers as well, that are through some of the similar things. All abuse or any kind of abuse is abuse. So, with that being said, you know, the systems end up failing the kids all day long. Take them out of one home, put them in another home, and then sometimes the children end up dead. Because the system is not checking on them. They, just like the man talked about in the last commercial. Whereas the school, had came out there in DCF several times, but did nobody never do anything. They kept acting like it was just her fault. She's just a runaway. But all the time, they all in the same household going through the same thing she was. So they just turned their head like it wasn't anything. So I'm just praying and asking God. I know God is awesome and he's going to prevail justice. So that's already going to be taken care of. But any other child that's going through something right now or family, please reach out to somebody, that you feel that you can talk to. And like Sierra say, always make it known to your children that you can come to me, bad or good. Don't let nobody try to tell you that you bad and that's why this happened and you this and you that. No, it's not your fault. A lot of times children need to know that it's not their fault. And
Yes,
so
yes,
the message that we putting out today, I just pray it just go viral.
yes, yes, yes. All right, D-Woo.
Um, first I wanna start by giving shout outs. I want to shout out to her cousin Roxy.
Yes.
I want to shout out to her cousin, I'm sorry, her great aunt, Jernell or Janelle, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I
Mm-hmm.
also want to shout out to her cousin Kiwana.
Yes.
Um, if they, it, all of those three people, I want to shout out also Mark DeAndre with the assistance of Mark DeAndre, Tamara Liberty Smith.
Yes.
They are the reasons that this case is getting any kind of attention. They
Yes.
are the reason that CPS got called. There, yes, some people were able to do more than others. However, if you threw a stone in the bucket, if you dropped a droplet of water in the bucket for Naziah, you helped. So no one's help is greater than the next person. A little bit of help, a lot of help, it's all help. So I want to give shout outs to those people. I also want to say that we have to really continue pushing the message of see something, say something. There is no silence when it pertains to kids.
Yes.
We also
Right.
have to, and I believe all kids are important, but I want to speak specifically to our brown little boys and girls. Y'all matter. Y'all lives are important. Y'all will be somebody. Y'all can
Yes.
be anybody that you want to be.
Yes.
Um, Nothing is gonna stop you but you. Nothing can stop you but you. Again, see something, say something. I want to come back when he goes to court and I want to redo another segment on this once, some of the details, more details start to come out or whatever. And I hope everybody will continue to tune in. Thank y'all for having us.
All right, all right. Sister Patrina, your final thoughts?
Peace and blessings.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Again, I appreciate all you ladies that came on here to actually shed light on conversations like this. Of course, this is all conversations that is like very uncomfortable, very uneasy to have, but the narratives that are being pushed, and sometimes things like this have to happen, even though it's like really messed up,
Mm-hmm.
to shed light on things.
Yeah.
Because I know that when I, you know, found out about what had happened, I got to a certain detail and I just was like, I can't. You know what I mean? And of course there's things that I can do, but with understanding how not right this is, and on top of that, like when it comes to young ladies and not really even knowing any better or being trained, like how, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
again, what we were saying, as far as the fact of watching how kids are around certain, it don't even have to be your relatives and stuff. They can be your friends, and you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that too. Even little kids, you know what I mean. You don't know what be going on. Little kids do things too. Um,
Mhm.
but watching that and honestly paying attention when they actually telling us something, not just blowing it off. Um, and again, I appreciate y'all having this conversation, and peace and blessings to everybody.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
All right, come on, Queen, close us out.
I want to thank everybody that tuned in. I want to thank everybody that's on the panel that gave out information that was very vital. I hope that it was heartfelt with you all just as well as it is with me. And I just hope that it's just not a conversation that just throw on your desk and it just becomes a part of some raffling paper. I hope that there can come a committee where we can come together as a whole to start rallying and diving into saving our young children that's being affected by this sex trafficking, this pedophile, this molestation, and all the type of stuff that's happening in these houses that we go and knock on the doors and we be sitting there eating cupcakes and drinking pop while they get towed down in the next room. You cannot take your eye off of these children for a second without a predator getting in what he want to get in. And I want y'all to know that people come as your friends, people is your family are the main ones that will destroy you. Because that's what the devil do. He speak, kill, and destroy. And I'm gonna go because we didn't just like did our overtime, and we're gonna see if we can just bring this back like the last week or something of February of Black History Month after we didn't get the court dates in or something like that. I want to try to set that up right now. But I want to tell you all this before I get off. I want y'all to pray with me for these children. Everybody is touching the DMV on the same page. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to be no friend to you, but always, if you got a friend, if you got enemies around, if the hair brings on your back, we gotta call. We gotta say something. You know, I gotta get them out here, but we pulled up in the driveway at the hotel, right? And we was parked in the car, and when we got out the car, we heard some. You know what I'm saying? My mind kept telling me that there was somebody in the trunk. You know what I'm saying? I could not leave that space without keep on riding around. I know I'm hearing something. I know I ain't crazy. You know what I'm saying? But it's right in front of our places, y'all, everywhere. These people are doing stuff right in front of our places. And they have your company come over. They can have their friends come over. Them friends come over, seeing them little girls, seeing the boy. They the one leading them to come get in this car, go and get on up. Because see, this is their money thing right now. It's taking these children and selling them, getting body parts, doing all that kind of stuff. So we need to have a thing going aware. The Aisha sister gonna put some awareness for our children. Because we gotta be the ones to save them. Because ain't nobody else trying to do it. That's my last thing that I gotta say.
Amen.
All right. Thank you, Queen. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're following us on Facebook, the Aisha Sisterhood, NFP, we definitely appreciate your support. Thank you all. Every second and fourth Sunday, you guys.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.